Orithra Mukherjee. I guess Orithra, we talked in the last day as well,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Of course. Good
Okay.
evening, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, my dear. Tell me, what is the purpose of your life?
The purpose of my life is happiness. And happiness means to love what I do.
Do you find happiness in terms of browsing internet and discovering newer facts?
Well, just browsing internet, that is not happiness. That is called short-term pleasure.
I remember your answers because in the last day you probably told me that if you have recognition, if you have enough money, and if you have power, then only you can be happy. And
You
that,
remembered a lot.
yeah, I come across the correct answer, Orithro?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now can you please tell me that if you get to know new things about the world's discovery, internet remains the one of the options about that. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how do you browse internet nowadays? Do you do it through your laptop, or you often do it through your phone, or how do you do that?
Through any device, whatever I get, through laptop or through phone,
Do
whenever
you
I feel comfortable.
Okay, so can you give me an indication about which gadget you are more likely attached to? Is it your laptop or is it your phone?
Mobile phone, because mobile phone is more handy
Okay.
than laptop.
How much of time do you spend with your mobile phone in a day?
Uh, that I don't keep track. I don't keep track of the time.
Okay. Do you think that you are addicted to smartphone?
Well, I don't think so because I don't use my smartphone just for fun. I use my smartphone to learn new things.
Okay. What is your opinion about this smartphone addiction? Something about what we talk so much nowadays.
You mean why there is so much smartphone addiction?
I wanted to know your take on the term smartphone addiction. It can be anything.
Well, smartphone addiction is high nowadays because of social media. Because in social media, people nowadays are busy posting new selfies, are busy checking out what their friends are doing, are busy comparing themselves on social media. That's why they are always glued to Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. That's what I
Do,
believe. And
do
also,
you
they
think do
use
you
a lot
think
of
that it is
WhatsApp.
becoming a disease slowly?
Yes, ma'am, it is becoming a disease, one kind of.
How do you keep yourself on track so that you also do not become a victim of this smartphone addiction?
Hmm. Because I always, whenever I use social media too much, I always remind myself that I should use smartphone to upgrade myself, to develop my skill set, not to waste time. Because social media or smartphone is a great tool if you can use it productively. It is possible. It is a great tool if you can use it productively. So that's what I remind myself.
And does do you listen to the reminders that you give to yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I do listen.
You do?
Yes, ma'am.
Or if to please tell me the last mistake you made in your life.
That I have to think right now.
Do think. We are not in hurry. You can take your time.
Yeah, lot of mistake. People do make a lot of mistake. Uh,
My question is, what is the last mistake that you made in your life? Last mistake that you have made in your life. I'm not asking for any appendix or any annexure or any chronology of the series of mistakes you have made. I'm just asking the last mistake that you made in your life, if you remember it, if you can kindly share that.
uh, last mistake. Mm,
Okay.
well, I don't quite remember anything right now.
Okay. Do you believe that remembering your mistake is a good way of upgrading yourself to a
Yes,
different
ma'am.
scale?
Because only from mistake we do learn.
If you do believe this, then why don't you remember your last mistake? You should have, right?
Yes.
Okay, Orithra, a humble suggestion is that I told you the same thing in the last day as well. See, this is a thinking exercise, okay? We
Okay, ma'am.
speak what we think. What we please follow my words. We speak what we think. So the exercise, the practice has to primarily happen in your thinking process. Your speaking capability, your pronunciation, your diction, everything can be taken care of slowly and gradually. And I don't think that you are quite bad in those aspects. But if somebody is questioning you, please don't imagine that he is or she is readily going to forget whatever you are saying. Things stay in everybody's memory, okay? We do not
Okay,
forget
ma'am.
things easily. So, whatever you are saying, please give it a cross check at your leisure time if you really believe in it or not. Because nowadays, questions are planned or asked so intelligently that in a psychometric test, whether you are just abruptly answering the questions or you are thoughtful to your answers, that can easily be detected. And if any dichotomy is found in that process, then it goes against you as a candidate. So that would be my humble suggestion to you, if you can kindly reconsider. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. I would of course do that.
Please do that. Please do
Mm.
that. So because just try to understand that if you say that I really remind myself that I should not be too much addicted to my smartphone, then the immediate next question to you would be, then what is the corrective measure action? The corrective measure action can be something like that I deactivate my social media profiles for 2 days or 3 days or like that, unless and until I finish a work to which I have put as a deadline of some XYZ date. This can be a comprehensive answer. But the kind of an answer you are giving, it is more like a disclaimer that every cinema puts on. Tobacco consumption is injurious to health. Smoking is injurious to health. We all know that, right? But how many of us do really follow that? So from there, the next questions will pop up. So be very careful. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Orithra. It
Yeah.
was lovely talking to you. After Orithra, can we please move on to Anisha Jaiswal?
A very good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening, my dear. I can see your smiling face even without your video on.
Thank you.
Okay, tell me, if you are given the supreme power, what change would you bring to West Bengal today? And please don't repeat your answer.
I remember that very well. I won't bring any political change. I will never bring any political change. And what change I can really bring is that I will try to make Kolkata more cleaner,
Do you
because some
think
part,
making Kolkata greener is a better way of
ma'am, I said
having a
cleaner.
cleaner Kolkata?
Oh,
You
greener.
said cleaner.
So,
My question, ask to the question first. My question is, do you think that making Kolkata greener is a better way of making it cleaner?
ma'am, it is a better way, but as it is a metropolitan city, it's not possible to make it greener, because greenery is only cut down and buildings and factories are setting up.
So we cannot go for planting trees
We
in the
can
ways we can.
we can go, but not in a very large scale.
I did not ask for scale. I asked for the option.
Yes, ma'am, we can obviously go for planting more trees.
You missed my question, Alicia. My question to you was, do you think that making Kolkata greener is a better way to make it cleaner? How greenery can clean the city? If you plant trees, then can it eliminate all the rubbishes and debrishes that we all just give it a throw on the dustbins on the road? Can it do that?
Ma'am, obviously that
Can
is
it do
not
that?
possible.
Can
No,
it do
ma'am,
that?
but no, ma'am, but it can obviously control the pollution created by automobiles.
Right. So you should have thought about this approach before coming up with the derogatory statements that you started with. Okay, there can be two ways of answering a question, Alicia. I told you the same thing in the last day. If my question to you is, Alicia, does it
Ma'am,
go
Anisha.
good with it? Sorry, Anisha.
Yes,
If I ask you that does it goes good with you, you can answer it in two ways, right? You can say, well, you know that I don't like this, but still when you have give it as an option, chalo theek hai. This is one approach. The other approach can be, yes, I'm absolutely fine with it, but even then, this remains my favorite, like that. You
Okay.
understand the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Say,
Putting
for
out the
example,
positivity.
yes, please do not start an answer with a negative note. If you have some other logic to place, please place it relevantly to support your pre existing point, not in a way that just eliminates the point of the questionnaire. Are you getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
It is very important to be assertive. It is very important to be assertive. It is very important to be positive. Like the moment you said me, "Good evening, ma'am," I came up with a positive statement which was very voluntary out of me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because your positivity induced in me. The same you have to do when you are answering to your examiner, when you are answering to your interviewer. Are you understanding what is my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Please do that. My last question to you. I am sure that you are quite an angry person. How do you handle your anger?
Ma'am, when my anger mode is on, I try to avoid everything. Or
You
to
try
be
to avoid
very
everything. Okay.
means to
What
be
is that
very honest,
everything?
I try to ignore, means if I'm angry with some person, then I will try to ignore him or her.
But can you really do that always? If you're in your office or in your workplace or you're in marketplace, you cannot avoid people.
Yes, like, but up to some point I try to.
Please think of this question as an answer, because anybody who will talk to you, he or she will have a feeling that you are a person who is emotionally very charged. Okay, so it is very obvious that people will understand what you are. So this may come up as a question, so please try to figure out what can really be some other alternatives of this answer, because avoidance does not work always very good as an option that is there. Okay, so please think over it. It was lovely talking to you again, Anisha. Please take care and stay well. And with that, can we please move on to
Thank you,
Ronit?
ma'am.
Ronit, yeah.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Ronit, did we talk before?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I would like to know something about you, please.
My introduction.
How would you like to describe yourself? Yes, you can take it as your introduction.
Uh, of course, ma'am. Ma'am, my name is Ronit Kumar. I live in Makaskiganj in a Jharkhand state. I love to play cricket, and my hobby is to read book. And sometimes I used to cook food.
Oh, lovely. Can you please tell me something about your academics and your career aspirations?
Actually, ma'am, I am now I am in standard 9, but I have planned for my future that I want to do a job of rural development.
Job on
Job of a rural development.
rural development. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in order to such a wonderful thought that you want to work on the domain of rural development. In order to do that, have you planned that? What is the domain of academics that you would like to pursue?
Sorry, ma'am. Once more, can you repeat?
Yeah, my question to you is, can you really share that which domain of academics you want to pursue after your 10th or 12th, more importantly, to do work in rural development?
I have planned that first of all, I would try to get a maximum percent in a 10th in a board exam so that I would get a chance or opportunity to be in a good school or a college like St. Xavier in our locality. Sorry, in our city, there is a school named St. Xavier there. And after that, I would like to go to Hyderabad to do a master in rural development.
Okay. What kind of entertainment opportunities do you get in Ganj?
Um, Ma'am, basically our place is best suitable for nature lover.
Hmm.
So this is a mode of entertainment for me that I love to watch nature as according to my point of view.
That's wonderful an answer. It is often said or seen nowadays that when people do not have much domains of entertainment open, especially during this COVID period, people are spending more time over gadgets, electronic gadgets like television, phone, laptop like that. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am. I agree with this statement.
Did this happen with you as well?
No, ma'am. Actually, it doesn't happen me more, much more, because I use cell phone for only my study purpose, not more than that. Because my cell phone doesn't belong to me. It is not my personal phone.
Okay, so you do not have a personal phone, so you do not get much opportunities to spend time with that. So, should I take it in this way that you are not a person who has developed a smartphone addiction so far?
Yes, ma'am, you can. But I would like to mention that, ma'am, from my past activity, now I'm using more the cell phone because due to my classes, online classes.
That is a work purpose, my dear. That is not addiction.
So, ma'am, then you can say that I'm not addicted to it.
Okay, Ronit, can you please tell? My last question to you is, why did you think that joining LWT was a necessity for you?
Actually, ma'am, first of all, I had a thinking to join LWT was that in lockdown I'm free that I can join it because I'm like I can learn many new things. So
Okay,
that was my first purpose. But now I have came through it that I have understand it that what actually it is for. So now I have changed my purpose. Basically, I want to develop my communication skill, which would help me in my future career.
Ronit, it is wonderful an experience to talk to you. Just remember that whenever your phrasing of statements is also quite good because you use short phrases and simple communication sentences. But only thing which happens over simple sentences is that any mistake that you make that gets very easily identified. Okay, so whenever you are saying I have, please make sure that you are saying it. I have understood. I have not understand. Okay, so these are the small things that you need to take a care on. Otherwise, I think that uh, things are quite okay with you, and joining us was a lovely experience for us as well. And I'm sure that we are going to have a long journey, a long association with you in coming times. So please do take care on a note that you are saying the verb form in a correct way whenever you are saying. Okay.
Of course, ma'am.
Thank you, Ronit. I
Thank
believe
you.
that we will talk again in recent future. Okay, so I could see somebody joining now who is Naman. So Naman Shyam Sukha. So shall
Yeah.
we talk to Naman now? Yeah.
Hello.
Naman, yes, Naman, can you please introduce yourself in some 2 3 sentences, please?
Well, I am Naman Shamsuka. I'm just a first year student at St. Xavier's College. I've been associated with LWT as a executive advisor, and also I was a country manager there. So now I'm not working with that, but I'm also like keeping in touch and also seeing all these activities. I love to do these activities, so I'm here.
Okay. You said that you are a first year student, right? Right?
Right, right.
Okay. Okay. So are you from Jharkhand?
No, I'm not from Jharkhand. I'm from Calcutta.
Okay.
Yeah,
Christmas is one of the most beautiful time Kolkata ever experiences. Do you
right.
agree?
Yeah, I do agree with that because you can see the celebration going on full force on the Christmas Eve, and especially the Park Street area where my college is located, right? So this Christmas is a very because Calcutta was colonized by the British. Okay, East India Company was also located in the British, and we have seen that British, what I would say, the British soul is always here in Calcutta because it's different. The culture, the vibrant atmosphere is very much different compared to other cities in like Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi. Because Kolkata, you will feel that you are in London, right? So it's like that. And Christmas Eve is obviously it's a huge celebration in here, right? So I do visit the church that day. Okay, so and I see all the decorations and all. So it's a lovely thing to go with your friends, enjoy with your families and friends, right? So yeah.
Naman, a very humble suggestion to you is one thing. Okay, let me come up with a good thing. You are very passionate about this Christmas time, and since your college was just located
Right.
on the closer to Park Street, you have had a very emotional
Right.
attachment to the city and to the roads and all
Right.
the decorations that the Park Street comes up with. And
Right.
that could be seen that you even could not wait for the question to finish. So that is one point where you really need to be careful about. Okay, and please be very careful about the answer that you are going to come up with, because it was a statement. Kolkata is one of the best. Kolkata is in its best when the Christmas comes up. So I
Right.
made a statement like that, right? A statement does not necessarily end up with a question. I did not end up with a question. I was supposed to ask you something, but you did not even pause for the question to be asked.
No, I
Okay,
was actually very much excited for that, and
I could
obviously I was
understand.
very
I could
positive, right?
understand. I
So
could understand it,
yeah,
and I
it's like
wholeheartedly
that.
appreciate it. I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly appreciate it.
Yeah.
But a humble
Thank you.
suggestion from my end is, I
Yeah.
understood that you are so passionate, you are so attached that you just wanted to come up some everything that you had stored in your heart, and it came like a fountain flow, and it was so beautiful
Yeah.
that I was even not feeling like stopping you in the middle of your answer. Okay, I
Sure.
listened carefully till the end you finished. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
and please make sure that whenever you are answering next, please put the information that you know in such a way so that the sharing of the information remains very subtle. Nobody should ever feel that you are trying to teach anything to your interviewer. The intonation has to be very proper. Okay, everybody will not be similar as a man, right? Everybody will
Right.
not be
Right.
similar as a human mind.
Mhm.
Somebody can be affectionate and listen to you very patiently and
Mhm.
carefully, understanding your
Mhm.
emotion.
Mhm.
Somebody may also feel it like, oh my god, this guy is so arrogant that he's trying to preach me, which you are not doing, I know. Which you are not doing, I know. But please be very careful in terms of putting information. Kolkata was ruled by the British, this was a colonial culture, from there this happened, and then that followed. Everything is correct, but
Right.
put it in a
I
this
did not
way.
know the situation, right? So what situation was going on because I joined very late. So I did not know
that
the
is that is that
situation.
is
Yeah.
that is a kind of a situation that has happened to you right
Yeah.
today, right? But what
Right.
I am trying to share with you is a more kind of a generic suggestion which will happen for eternity. You
I
will
will work
have
on that. Thank you for that. Yeah.
did you understand what my
Yes,
point
ma'am.
was?
Yes. Yes. I
My
did
point
understand
is,
that. Right.
be passionate, be enthusiastic, be emotional. Nothing wrong in being that, because being emotional is being honest. You cannot say wrong things, false things when you are
Right.
emotionally
Right.
attached. These things are okay. But my only point is, have a grip on your emotion and let the question finish.
Listen
That
to
is something
the speaker
which you
first.
have to practice.
Right.
Okay, that is something which you have to practice.
Thank you for that, ma'am.
You talked about Christmas memories, and I was supposed to ask you that what should be the measures that you think should be taken to prevent people from talking in Park Street during this COVID situation.
Okay. So
Okay,
that
so
was
you
the
understand
question.
where lies the
Yeah.
dichotomy.
Right. So it has
Okay.
shifted so much. I was talking about the emotional and all
It
the
did not
connections
shift.
part.
It did not shift because you
Right.
did not ask me the. You did not let me ask the question. But if I would have asked, then it would have definitely shifted.
Right.
Anyway, Naman, it was lovely talking to you. Please
Thank you,
take
ma'am.
care. Have
Thank
a
you.
great
Yeah,
Christmas
same here.
celebration. And with this, can we please move to Yubraj?
Yeah, sure.
Yubraj.
Today he is not present, ma'am.
Okay, so am I talking to his father?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
How far you have progressed in your goal of achieving a flag of being a wonderful motivational speaker? That was your answer, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Tell me, what are the practices that you are making for being a good motivational speaker?
Actually, in this lockdown period, uh, as a motivational speaker, there is hardly no scope in my village to uh, do such kind of things regarding motivational speaker, especially when I go to school and over there I used to motivate the students of our school uh, to be motivated by helping them to make their own dream, and these kind of things I had just started before lockdown period, and due to corona already this type of things have been stopped, and I am not in position at present to do such kind of progress in this direction, ma'am.
I understand. I understand. Sir, we talked in the last week also, right? I came
Yes,
up with certain suggestions that use small sentences, use simple sentences like that, and you readily agreed to something that I said. Do you
yes,
remember?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So we remember as well. Okay. So now, can you please tell me that in this last 7 days, from last Tuesday to this Tuesday, what are the things that you have practiced?
Actually, ma'am, I'm using to use short, small sentences while speaking to someone, ma'am. I'm working hard in
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Sir, my simple question to you is what is smartphone addiction?
Uh, Using all the time smartphone without any purpose, without any useful purpose is smartphone addiction. Useful purpose is if there is any purpose and that is useful for somebody, that he may use a smartphone for some time, for most of the time, but without any useful purpose, no one should be addicted to a smartphone. It is my personal opinion, ma'am.
You have a child in your home, right? Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
see that he is addicted to smartphone?
Some, especially my son used to play mobile, but not more than 1 to 2 hours in a day, ma'am.
Okay. My last question to you is what is my last question to you is what is the purpose of life you realize at this age? What is the purpose of life you realize at this age?
The purpose of my life is definitely very huge, ma'am. And as I think, uh, my life is all about helping the people to make their own dream, and they should be motivated by their own dream, not by others' dream, uh, to look into somebody somebody's dream which is not their own dream. And for getting motivation, it is very necessary that everybody should have their own dream, and I am trying to motivate people, to help them to for making their own dream, and it is my purpose, not for uh, not only for others but also for the members of my family. I suggest them to make their own dream, and it will definitely help you for giving you motivation all the time.
Sir, it was lovely talking to you again. I would like to repeat my suggestion. Please use small sentences.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to say something, please finish the sentence with such a note which does not come along with a tone of continuation. It confuses people. Okay. Otherwise, I think that if you practice more and more, of course, the communication skill that you are aspiring for, you will gain very soon. Thank you for being here with us. So, Vishal, shall we wrap up the session here for
Thank you
today?
very much. Let's meet tomorrow again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.